to you this wonderful Thursday, and welcome to Youth Time on Benue Television here in Benue State. My name is Dorcas Chia, and this is that program that brings to you topics and matters relating to our young persons here in Benue State and in Nigeria as a whole. Today, we are going to be discussing about something very important and also something that is of concern to our young persons. It's something that has been happening in the society, and maybe you as a young person out there, that young guy, that young lady, you're not aware of it here. Today we are going to be talking about employability skills. Those skills you need to have to make you employable, so that when you sit in front of someone trying to get a job, you're sure that you'll be able to get a job. Well, let me not begin to discuss everything right now, because if I start like this, you'll not want to watch the program again. So I have my guest with me here. He's already seated, like you can see. But before I introduce him, let's just go on a very short break, and when we return, the program will kickstart. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Youth Time on Benue Television, and we are going to be discussing employability skills. I have with me in the studio a very young gentleman he's a regular guest here, and he always has something to say and something to give out anytime he's here. His name is Sefa Awen, who is the programs manager of JASPI. Good to have you once again on Benue Television.
Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for this honoring our invitation.
Happy to be
I
here.
think we need to give you cap or plaque.
Yes, I should have one.
Yes.
That put on my wall in my office.
You know, our brand ambassador of Youth Time.
Official partner.
Don't worry. Yes, okay. So, like I said, you are the programs manager of JASPI, and yes, you have a lot to say when it comes to employability skills. And most times when we talk about employability skills, people begin to mistake it. They begin to think it's entrepreneurship, the baking, the that. Oh, they're trying to say I should learn how to bake. But over time, we've been hearing this. Of recent, we've been hearing the fact that young persons are not employable. Some people are not. They don't have employability skills. Those skills that will make them attractive or give them an edge when they sit in the face of an interview. So now on this program, I want you to, describe or maybe give us your own description of what employability skills are for maybe our audience out there who are watching and maybe asking themselves, what are employability skills?
Okay. Thank you very much, Dorcas. Today I want to speak as a human resource professional, not as a programs manager.
No problem.
Yes, because over the years I've worked in the capacity, I'm still working in the capacity of human resource manager. Presently in my organization, I work as the program manager, doubling as a human resource manager, which means I'm responsible for hiring and firing and staff welfare and all of that. And one of the issues I've come to realize over time in human resource management is staff having certain skills that not having certain skills that will make them suitable for certain roles.
Okay.
Okay. Now, like you said earlier, employing a staff, employing a personnel is not necessarily about that skill you have, that baking skill or that writing skill, all of those skills. You might have those skills, but the trend has changed, right? So, to be employable, there are basic skills one must have. Now, employability skills is here looking about your ability to work on a job effectively and deliver appropriately, and make the inputs you're supposed to make,
yes,
and get the expected outcomes. Yes, the value you are adding. Now, you can come to a certain job, you have all the requirements, you have certain requirements, but one requirement that job needs the most, if you don't have it, you can't fit into that job. For instance, if we are talking about getting somebody who fits into the role of a customer service representative, which means you have to be dealing with people back and forth. Customers are calling with their complaints, they're saying, some are even calling with insults and all of that. If you don't have communication skills, no matter what you have, you can't
now
fit
coming into the skills, you just started one, so we have laid the foundation of what employability skills are. Let us now look at those particular skills itself. You started with communication skills,
yes,
already.
Very
Go
important.
on and tell us more about it.
Now, the communication skills is one very important.
Okay.
And if you have communication skills already, you should be looking at you being a leader. Leadership skills, your ability to solve problems. That's true. I'm naming. Then we're looking at, there's one that we must not strike out: emotional intelligence. Most people don't even understand the concept of emotional intelligence, but it is a thing. It is the hub of every job right now.
For most people, when they hear emotional intelligence, you'll be like, that means you're emotional. Your ability to cry at every instance.
Emotions goes both ways, right?
Okay.
Emotion must not be, the crying emotion or the sad emotion. What about the angry emotion? What about the even when you are hungry and you're expressing some type of emotion, you're expressing emotion. Now, the idea is that how intelligent are you in handling your emotions, and how does it affect the people around you, such that you don't come to work, for instance, and then something happens to you at home, you're not coming to come and take it out on your colleagues at work. So you should be intelligent emotionally enough to know that your behavior affects the next person. So you should be able to manage yourself such that whatever it is you're doing does not affect the next person, and the next person is also not feeling like you are attacking them or you are making them feel some type of something they probably don't know about. And that will also make them understand that they need to also contain their behavior. It's just we're talking about managing your emotions properly and effectively. So we're looking at communication skills, leadership skills, emotional intelligence, problem solving skills. I mentioned that earlier. And we're talking about skills like the decision making skills, right? In the absence of your superior or your boss, if you are alone in a situation, are you able to make effective or informed decisions? These skills will make you employable. It is not about you being able to bake. It's not about being able to write. And with being able to write or being able to what about teamwork? We're looking at teamwork. Working with people in a team effectively. What about interpersonal skills? Now, there are people that you may have a team consisting of 5-6 persons, but one person has a negative team spirit, will destroy that whole team. The team can never function properly. So in trying to employ people, the trend has changed. Human resource managers are looking for people who are first of all able to function on a team. The team consists of different roles. Together, if it works as one. So, can you work in a team? Are you able to solve problems? Do you have interpersonal skills? Can you work
when
with
you talk
somebody?
about interpersonal skills, what exactly are we looking at here?
Interpersonal skills is simple, right? We're looking at you being able to deal with people one-on-one without having a problem. If I should pair you with somebody you don't know today and saying, work with this person to achieve this, are you able to do that? Because in the labor market these days, you meet people you don't even know, and there's that trend of people trying to always clear doubts. Do you know who I be? Do you know who I am and all of that?
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about who you are. We're to talk about the goals we want to achieve. Can we put our energy, our attention into achieving that goal? There are a lot of skills, and as most recently, technological skills. Are you able to navigate your way around simple basic technology to solve problems? For instance, you want to take a picture in the office to put in a report. Can you take professional pictures even with your device, your phone? Are you able to do small editing? Are you able to pay attention to details, to point out that no, this is not right, we should do it like this? Do you pay attention to the simple things that may cause bigger problems later? Those skills put together, amongst many others I have not mentioned, are what makes somebody employable.
Okay. All right. So we have talked on these skills, and maybe someone else there might be wondering, just like the way I'm wondering right now, like where, because these skills, because it seems like maybe it will just joke as they're giving birth to you, you are having it, because these are not skills that are taught in schools. That's it. So where can young persons be able to learn these skills? Where do they get it from?
Okay.
Yes.
Employability skills are in other words called transferable skills.
Yes.
They can be learned. Nobody's born with it. You can learn them, you can acquire them, and you can provide your services in return to get those skills. How? Volunteering, for instance. When I began working in the development sector 11 years ago, I began as a volunteer. I worked for so long. I remember having issues with my boss all the time because she always tried to Dr. Victor was telling me that you spoke in a way you shouldn't have spoken. Why did you speak like that? Why did you say this? Why did you say that? Write a report. Or you write a report, does not make sense, and try to point it out to me. And instead of trying to learn from the corrections, most people will just become apprehensive. They become all edgy, and they start expressing negative emotions. So another skill about being employable is learning skills. Are you able to learn? Can you settle down and learn something? If you go wrong and they teach you, can you get it right? People will just want to defend themselves rather than take the corrections that are getting. So for the question you asked, young people can learn these skills by volunteering their services to organizations that want to teach it. It even goes further to being able to pay to learn those skills. I do a lot of writing. It is shocking to know that even up to date I still pay money to learn writing, to learn how to upgrade my writing skills, because I like to write, I like to read. And there was one time I belonged to a club where we paid money to read together. People were paying money to come together and read books.
Something you will sit in your house and you will do for free.
But I will not commit to it if I was alone, as much as I commit to it if I was those people. Now we're supposed to read and give feedback, do book reviews, chapter reviews, and all of that. And there were sanctions for it. So I was forced to do it so that I will not. First of all, I don't want to even be seen as a person who does not even continue or finish that task. So I was forced to do it, and it helped me a lot. Now a lot of people don't know this. You can learn these skills. You can learn a lot of them. You can volunteer your services, and in return you learn them. And some people are talented. They have talents that they can give, and you can give those talents to learn other skills in return. So employability skills don't fall from the sky into somebody. You're not born with it.
Maybe it sounds like a gift though.
It doesn't. You learn it. It is completely learnable.
Yeah.
You just learn it. You can even teach yourself. Like these days, with the advent of technology, you can even pick up these courses online. You learn some of these skills online, and your tutor or your director or whoever may not even have personal physical contact with you. Yet you learn from them. That you see people talking about having mentors, having role models, especially mentors in places they've not been to, people they don't even know, but they're teaching them things virtually, and they're learning those skills, putting them to good use every other day. So these skills are completely learnable.
Still on exactly, and the kind of skills that we classify as employable skills. Let's now go to the part of certificates. All these human resource certificate, customer relationship certificate, logistics, quality control, and all that. Can you also categorize getting all these certifications as a form of employability skills also?
There are two sides to it from my angle.
Okay.
Getting certificate is one thing. Actually possessing those skills is another. I'll give you an instance. Most organizations these days would put out applications call for applications, people to come and apply for certain roles in the organizations. And when people apply, the organizations are looking for people who are able to own the responsibilities. And by the time you come applying and they interface with you, person A might have all the certifications, everything the job requires, but might not have the character that job needs. Person B might not have any certification, but will possess certain traits the job needs. It will amaze you to know that such situations, organizations go for person B, not person A.
True.
Because you might have all the certifications in the world and you just have a bad working relationship. You don't have team spirit, you don't have leadership skills, you don't have certain things that would help that job to move forward. So and you are some people will interface with you from the word go, they know that this person will cause us problem. And they just try to avoid you. Recently, in my organization, we tried to employ a staff, data entry clerk. People put out applications and everything. So there was this particular candidate that came forth, and I was not there. I was not part of the hiring team. I decided to exclude myself because I brought in other people from different organizations to do the process for me, because I would now get the final result and I'll follow through with their recommendations. Because in situations like that, it is believed in the human resource world that you are most likely going to be sentimental. So you are either part of the team, but you don't lead the team. You get somebody else to lead the team and handle things without sentiment. So I decided not to be part of it at all. I only allowed them to do it, and I got feedback and recommendations. And there was this particular guy that he told me that when he came, he was talking about how proud he is of himself, the things he has done over the years, and the job he came for. He was saying he doesn't want that job. He wanted the job of his Oga, in quotes, the M&E person. And already, that's...
So why did you apply in the first place?
That's the thing. You came for a particular job and you're saying, no, this is not what you want. You want the one that already it was a red flag. And the Oga, guess what, was sitting there as part of the team. And the guy was laughing like, this guy won't collect my job like this. And you are talking about what you've done, how you are fast. And then when they threw him some few questions, he was not able to answer. Some he got it correctly, but already the team lead said this person has issues with pride, and they will put that forward and want to come and shut other people down. Already he was cancelled. So that character trait that he portrayed that day was not suitable for the organization, and they said, no, we can't have you. We can't have you. So people might have certifications, all the certifications in the world, but if you go and interface, while you're interfacing, sometimes the team lead will never even look at certifications. They will speak to you first. When they've heard you speak, they've spoken to you and they've understood some things about you, they're not, wow, this guy's interesting. Let's go back to their resume and see what they have in there. Oh, they have certification, all of that. But know you that some persons will even enroll on jobs that they won't beat the requirement, or they don't have it at all, yet they get those jobs because they have the certain traits or character that the job requires. But that's not to say that certifications are not good, right?
Yeah.
They are very important.
Yeah.
But if we are going to juxtapose your certificates and your character,
it has to go.
It has to go.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
No problem. Okay, yes. Let's just go on a very short break, and when we return, the discussion will continue. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This is still your time on Being Television, and we are still discussing employability skills for our young persons. And like you can see, our second guest just joined us. Her name is Mimi Dogede. She is a business developer. Good to have you on the program, ma.
Thank you.
Oh, welcome. You're looking good.
Thank you.
Yes. So, Mimido, before you came, we were talking about employability skills, what exactly it's all about, and what are those skills in particular. We were looking at that. So, before we, continue, I would just like you to, give us your own view on what you think employability skills are and what these skills entails on its own.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Employability skills are those qualities, those credentials that are expected of every employee, everybody seeking employment in a particular place of work or service.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So when you say credentials, does that mean maybe even certifications? Is it have to be paper, or what exactly are we looking at?
No, not necessarily. These are not your technical skills, not your technical know-hows. They are referring to soft skills,
Okay.
those things that are expected that are not necessarily certificated. Your qualities, your
Okay.
human qualities.
All right. So,
Yes.
so when you talk about human qualities, can you just tell us a little bit about it? Those particular ones, just list them out for us.
Okay, thank you very much. You have communication skills, your ability to keep to time management. You have critical analysis, your ability to solve problems in a particular workplace, because no employer wants a liability. In as much as they want to know what you can offer, that's your the paper related credentials you have. They are seeking to see what you can offer, how you are able to contribute to the growth of the particular place.
Okay, for you, you are a business developer and you run an ad
Yes.
agency.
Yes,
Okay. So if you are, let's say you are trying to, employ someone that will work with you, just give me a position for now. Maybe
Social media handler.
okay. So what exactly will you be expecting the person to possess apart from the certificate, the CV, and all that the person? What skills will you be looking at for in this particular social media candidate?
Okay. I'll be looking for your ability to communicate well. You have to develop good oral skills. You have to be time conscious, because most times the internet works with time. So if you are not fast enough, it can cause a lot of backlogs. So you have to be able to keep up with time. You have to be able to solve problems on your own without necessarily consulting your CEO.
All right. Okay. Sifa, let me come back to you. We were talking earlier, and we were talking about the skills, and still on the issue of certifications. Okay. Right now, the Benitech skills is about to commence, or let me say it has commenced. The orientation is going on right now, and it has into soon commence in full. So, can you, as a human resource person, also quantify that as an employable skill for a young person?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I can. Remember, we talked about technological skills earlier. So, I want to commend the governor of Benue State for that initiative, because it's going to, help a lot of people to improve on the skills they already have, or help them discover new skills that they might want to explore in the future. You see, the thing is, that skill, particularly the ICT skill, is for me the most sellable skill right now you can find. Because if you have a skill like that, you are liable to work remotely from anywhere. So people who have ICT skills, they might wake up and stay in their homes. You will think they are not doing anything with their lives, but they're actually working from home, attending to problems around the world from the comfort of their rooms.
Yeah.
So that's particularly, the world has changed. We said that earlier. And we must be able to, catch up with the current trends, how the world is working right now.
Yeah.
So yes, to answer your question, it's totally employable or
Okay.
employability.
All right.
skill for
Okay.
fabricants. Yes.
Okay, all right. Then the other day we had a guest who here at Being Television who was talking based on the how young persons are not really employable these days, and he talked about the issue of young persons having a gap. You see, when you look at someone's CV, let's say for instance the person graduated from school by 2020 and the person is coming now to apply for a job. In the space of 2020, you see there's nothing going 2020 to 2024, there's nothing going on in that person's life when it comes to career wise and all that. Yes, the person hasn't gotten a job. So I want and he mentioned the fact that that was an issue. So I want us to talk about that, the issue of young persons being, I don't want to say idle, but having that gap in the space of, let's say, a 4 year after graduation or after service.
Okay. I had a funny encounter recently. I was doing a short course on sustainable social standards, and I met this guy who told me that when he went to apply for a job for an interview, the employer, somebody on the team of employers, told him that asked him why there was a gap from when he graduated to when he was applying for that job, and she made a funny comment that he needed some spiritual help. It's funny, right? It's funny, but it is not. Maybe she was not being extreme. She was not trying to make him feel bad. But what she said, according to him, made him to think about a lot of things, which is why he took that course he was taking. Now, between that time he graduated and the time he was taking that course, he had not done any job whatsoever. He got opportunities to volunteer, he turned them down. Because young people these days want to just wake up in the morning and lounge and make money. You want to be in your house doing nothing. You want to be chilling in your house and money should be dropping into your account. I don't understand how that works. Maybe I will learn it, but the issue here is that people need to learn to understand that in the journey of life, some people are ahead of you, some are behind you, and if you want to really get to learn some skills, you must be able to offer first your time. You want to offer your time, you want to learn something, and you're hoping to be paid for what you should be paying for. It's like going to school and saying, pay me for going to school. So, and the issue with schooling these days is even crazy. I mean, look at the JAMB results of recently. The margin between those who pass and those who fail is like 9 out of 10 persons failed and 1 person passed. Why? They are not studying. They are not studying. Studying here goes in all ramifications. You don't want to come to Benin TV, you want to be a media person, you don't want to come to Benin TV and volunteer your services, you want to learn how to do the presenting, you don't want to learn the technicalities around presentation and all of that. But you want to wake up tomorrow, pick up your phone and then do one live on Facebook, for instance, and say you're a presenter. And then those who actually are presenting are wondering, guy, what are you doing? And all of that. But the gap between these people's graduation, in quote, and when they're applying for jobs is simply because they're not giving their time into learning the skills they should learn. They're expecting that as they're going into those things, they should be getting paid immediately. And I think we'll then talk about volunteering as much as we should.
Wait, and we'll come back to that. I just want to you said this, and I would like to say, cut you wrong at that point where you say some people might think that you think some people just want to sit down in their rooms and be getting to cash. But I want you to answer the question. Okay, he has already said that, but actually some of these young persons, they will tell you when they apply for certain jobs, people are looking for, you need 2 years experience, you need 4 years, and you hear this comment, do they sell the experience on the road? That is it, because you're not willing to give me a chance to work. How am I supposed to gain the experience right now? I want you to talk about that, and also look at the effect of the negative effect of young persons having that particular gap from the year they've graduated to whenever they are trying to apply for jobs.
Okay, I think it's a case of always wanting to go for bigger things, because like you said, these opportunities are available for you. So most persons will just wake up and they will be like, oh, I can't work at a television center, I can't do the little things. But then you want to just wake up one day and then be head of, it doesn't work like that. So people miss the basics. They want to just wake up and then they want to blow, in quotes. So I think you should take advantage of every opportunity you see.
Okay. When you
Yes.
say every opportunity, what kind of opportunity will you be talking about?
Volunteering.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
you are also in support like him that
Yes.
young persons should volunteer their time.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
You
I
have
want
to
I would like
sacrifice
to
your
add
time.
something to what she said.
Yeah.
I'll use myself as a personal experience. At the time I left school in 2016, I already had about 4 or 5 years of experience.
Wow.
Not like this. You have like how many?
I say 11, but it's way more than that because I met my mentor in 2009, and from the day I met her, we started working. She took me along until when I started school, and I chose 2011, 2012 as my year of work, but I started working before that. But at the time I left school in 2016, I had years of experience already. Why? I was schooling and working at the same time. I was volunteering at the time. I would be in school during my free period. I go to the office to get some things done. We used to do school outreaches, talking about various issues in these schools. It goes on in that organization till I still volunteer there till date. They call me and say we're going to school and discuss certain topic, and I go there and do it. So I learned how to do basic things in the development world, and by the time I left school, I already had those skills. So when I went for service, if I would apply for a job, I'll be telling my potential employer that I have experience of so years, and I'll show you track record of the things I've done. So recently, my childhood friend went to go and develop a website for Elohim Development Foundation, and he saw pictures of me when I was very small, activity pictures that are pasted on their previous site, in their brochures and all of that. And he was like, he knows this person. So he called me out. I said, that place is like a home to me. I've been working there for all those days you knew me. I was working in that place. I'll leave home during holidays. I go there, volunteer my time and all of that. Things were not as they should be, but it was a whole lot. My mom was very supportive. God rest her soul. She would prepare TP for me every day because she doesn't want me to start. What am I doing at home? She'll send me to work. I'll go there, get to work, do some things. I come back home. She bought me a laptop. I started learning to do some work remotely and all of that. And to that, I owe it to all of them, saying that this years of experience I have is not. I was not going to school alone. So while in school, I was working. So the opportunity she's speaking of is just the ability to seize it. If today she's confidently saying that she's a business developer, she didn't wake up one day and ascribe that status to herself. It probably took a process to the point where she is.
That's good. So right now, that's actually very nice, and that's true. Volunteering is one thing that young persons these days are not willing to do, but it's very important. It's just a way of you putting one leg in, one leg out, and getting that knowledge that you go and pay for free. So even me, I'm in support of volunteering. So now let's move on to the factors that influence the employability skills of an individual. Let's look at those factors. Maybe we'll look at the educational environment. How does the educational environment on its own contribute to making young persons employable?
Okay. For example, if you did not attend a good school, because we can't hide from the truth, there are actually good schools and there are bad schools.
Okay.
So if you did not find yourself in a very good learning environment, it will be very difficult for you to adapt wherever you go to, because firstly, everybody is looking at your communication skills. Where you go, the first thing, once you talk, people just judge you from anything you say. So people are looking, and your employers are looking at that, and then your family background. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Family
yes,
background.
yes, yeah,
How does the
yeah.
family background affect it?
Most families are not in support of personal development, as sad as it sounds, because most parents want to, okay, this is what you are going to do, and then they force it on you, which is outside your interest. So then it has a very gross effect on your self-esteem. You can't do the things you want to do because you are forced to do another thing. So if you go to a workplace, you lose your confidence entirely, and then no employer wants somebody like that. Nobody wants a liability, like I said. So that's how it is.
All right. Sifa, how about you? How does the educational system? She has also mentioned the family let's even actually look at the family contributing both in the good side of it and the bad side of it. How does the family influence the employability skills of an individual?
Okay. Families are supposed to be a support system. If you are going to support system and a guide, if you are going to run for a certain endeavor, your family should be able to, support you to achieve those goals. And there are certain families that they will tell you that this thing you are going to go and do is a total waste of time. They'll be like, what are you going to gain from it? They are going to go and work for Dorcas. She's using you money to even every day of the week. Yeah, you're not coming on anything. Leave that thing. Come and stay home. Let me seeing you, knowing that you are here. I'm seeing you. But at the end of the day, they will get to understand that it is not how it should be. Our parents made a lot of mistakes. Most of them did not teach us the skills back at home. But the good thing is that I give it to them. They taught us how to adapt. Taught us how to, go out there and learn to manage, learn to have interpersonal skills with people. But there are certain skills that, if your family does not support you in doing that, like you talked about, it will trample on your esteem. Because whatever it is you are doing, the people who are supposed to be your people in code are not giving you the morale, not giving you the support, and not giving you the push you need. And you are doing that because nobody can be prouder than your family about you.
True. It's
so
true.
You are doing. If your mom should just utter one word to you now, that destroys you. Your dad says one thing, that destroys your mindset. You start trying to find a balance. So it's very important that families support their children or family members to achieve their dreams. If they seek guidance, please provide guidance for them. But shutting them down, no. They should be able to if you are going to volunteer, for instance, you are going to learn a skill, they should be able to give you that support, knowing that what you are doing, they are fully behind you. They're okay with it. They should just give you that guide, give you the push, give you the support.
Like someone actually said times have changed actually. The labor space is no longer the way it used to be. Nobody is actually looking at your CV anymore. And I really agree with that they are not actually looking at your CV, your first class anymore.
So, to that effect, I'll try to match it with something else.
Okay.
Imagine you are, let's say, Benue TV now wants to source for some sort of funding somewhere. And Benue TV now tries to write a proposal to an organization, say to Mimi now, to fund your youth program every Thursday. You write a very wonderful proposal, write what you want to do, how it will come out, the expectations, the outcome, the impact, and all of that. Mimi will look at it and she'll be impressed. Then there comes Safer TV. That is bringing a report of all the things I've done. I'm giving you proof that I have done this, and this. I'm not telling you what I'm going to do. I'm telling you what I've done.
Yes.
I'm not writing a proposal. I'm giving you a report.
I'm not giving you promises, but
I'm showing you that see my work here. This is what I've done.
You're getting it already now.
No matter how sweet or how catchy your proposal is, Mimi will look at my report and she'll be inclined to deal with me first than look at you, because you're only proposing. You have not done it. Okay. What will give her the guarantee that you'll be able to do it? Well, this is me. I've done it. I've learned my mistakes. I've probably done it over and over again and picked from my errors and enhanced on them. And here I am. I can do this 10 times over. And there's a nice, sweet, catchy proposal proposing what you want to do. Who would you go for?
Okay.
Safer TV.
No problem. Do you want to add to what you have said before we move forward?
Yeah, I said everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me take it up to you right now. You both have established the fact here that volunteering is one way that can improve the employability of an individual, and they can use it as a means of getting those skills. Will you say it's the only way an individual can improve his employability skills? Are there other skills? Are there things, activities, or things they can do? Are there places they can go to? Maybe schools they can go to as a form of increase their employability skills?
Okay, personally, I'm of the belief that mentorship is very important. So you should look for somebody you look up to in a particular field of work. Okay, as a law student, I just graduated. I have mentors in my
And
field.
you're a business developer.
Yes.
Wow.
I have mentors from my field, senior advocates. In fact, it doesn't have to be those big people. Even the ones that just graduated, they have, like you said, they are the ones that have made the mistakes. They know what to tell you. You learn from their mistakes, and then it helps you. So mentorship is very important. And then you can take online courses. It goes a long way. Yes, there are some that are even free of charge. You just have to you just have your data, and then you can have access to these online courses, and that's just it.
Okay. All right. So for you, what other strengths apart from transmission? We have mentioned volunteering, transmission, mentoring. What other strategies can be used in able to promote employability skills amongst young persons in the society?
Self-learning.
Self-learning.
Very important. Studying on your own. What about reading? The problem with this generation is that we don't read.
Okay.
Yes, we don't read. And there are a lot of ideas, a lot of mind-blowing ideas contained in these books we're not reading. It is said that he who reads a book, every day you read a book, you are living 1,000 lives. Because the information you're getting information from people who have probably thought about these things, have done researches, put their ideas together. All you have to do is pick it up. You don't have to go through the stress of doing the research. It's all there. You just go through it. There are people who have read books, gathered ideas, and started even writing on their own. And they are wonderful writers today. There are people who have learned skills just by reading. Some people sit back in their homes. Let's talk about technology. They pick up their phones, their laptops, they go online, and they learn skills on YouTube. They learn skills on TikTok, they learn skills on Facebook, everywhere. You have everything it takes for you to improve yourself. All you need to do is make a decision. Do you want to?
Sure.
It's either you want to or you don't want to. So it is first with you taking leadership of yourself, making a decision. I want to do this. Then you go ahead and do it. A friend of mine works with an organization. His schedules are so tight. And quite recently he told me he started doing his PhD. And I asked him, that guy, how do you want to manage all these tight schedules with this PhD? He said he doesn't know, but he wants to do it. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. He will find a way.
The way will come up by himself.
Yes.
That's all that matters. He wants to do it. It is time for him to do it. He's going to do it. And he's going to get it done. So it all depends on you wanting to do it first. Because if you want to make excuses, you go make excuses. You go make excuses. You go make.
You'll be the chairman.
Excuse nobody. Excuse. So you keep making excuses, and nothing will be done. So it just begins with you wanting to get it done first.
All right. Okay. The other day we had the MDBIPC chairman, MDBIPC here on our flagship program, and he said something that laws, because he was complaining bitterly of the fact that young persons are not employable these days. First, I want to ask: is it true? Are young persons not employable? Before you answer that, and also while you're doing that, you can just, he also said, the government should enact laws that will require young persons maybe go get skills, employability skills, maybe for a year or two before you can think of going to go and look for a job in the labor market. That's for those that may not want to venture into entrepreneurship. They might decide to go into the corporate world. Will you agree with him that that's actually one of the good ways that we're able to solve the rate of unemployability amongst our young persons?
Well, to answer your question, if he's saying young persons are not employable, I will not totally agree. If you are saying some, I would agree. I'm young. I'm totally employable.
Yes, but yes. Okay. Yes.
So let's not generalize it.
Yeah.
But I see his point, right? We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
His point is that most of these young people these days don't want to, learn the skills that will make them employable.
Yeah.
Imagine, I read online that somebody was asked to talk about herself, and she's talking about how man left her to marry another woman. I don't know if people saw that.
Wow.
It's crazy. In a job interview. Because she doesn't even understand what talk about yourself in that context means. So that's the problem. If we're not learning some of these things, we'll have those kind of issues. There are young persons that are totally employable. The difference is that we are not seeing them showcase themselves as much as the ones that are unemployed are doing. Now you find on the social media space, for instance, the people who are most loud and making the most are people who have nothing to offer anybody. And young people have not really understood that you must put yourselves in positions where when opportunities come, they meet you. Opportunities have met, what's it called again? Opportunities meeting preparation, preparedness, and then it just flows. So the ones that are employable are not in those positions. And sometimes you go to some of these government employees or funders or whatnot for certain skills to be put to use, but they owe somebody a favor, or they need to give now Chivi somewhere, and they'll go say, Kai, this thing, you are the best fit for this position, but I owe Dorcas a favor, so let her son come and take the position. Right. I'm sure we all know it happens every other day.
All right.
And so those are the challenges that are attached with this. Those who are employable are there. They are there within the circle, but somebody owes somebody a favor. Someone needs to go and pacify somebody. Someone needs to go and honor somebody.
Yeah.
And you have to honor me. Okay, give my son this position to run. It doesn't matter if the person is capable or not. Just give them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sefa. It's always a pleasure having you. Thank you, Mimido. Thank you for your input. It has been an interesting one, but sadly we have to. I wish we had more time so that we could talk more, because I'm not finished with my questions. But anyhow, let's just leave it that way. This has been an interesting one, and I hope you who have been watching, you have been able to get something from what we have discussed. Don't waste that time. If you're done with service or you're done with school, don't waste that time just sitting around. Get involved in something. It could be a salesman's job, it could be anything. You're gaining experience, because when the time comes for you to prove yourself and make yourself valuable in front of others, all these skills will come handy at that moment. And this is where I draw the curtain for this week's program. Until I come your way next time, I remain Dorcas Chair. Have a lovely week. Goodbye.